This is Janae Aiko, and you're joining the Sold Out Listening Session. The title Sold Out is basically a play on words. It obviously sounds like sold, S-O-L-D, out. And it's really the exact opposite. It's really about being free and being full of soul and expressing your soul, to the highest potential. I think that my sound is just me, and that's really the only way I can really describe it. And everyone that knows me knows that I'm all over the place, all of the time, consistently inconsistent. And so my sound is my personal stories, my personal beliefs, my personal preference. It's kind of hard to just put it in a box, but I think it can be understood. If I could pick a new genre to put this Sold Out album in, I would call it freestyle. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Freestyle. I think the story of Sold Out is completely my story. I start off talking a lot about love and relationships and heartbreak, and towards the end I'm talking more about life and sort of just like the lessons I have learned. There's really no storyline, but it pretty much all happened in real life and all happened in that order type of thing, where I went through these relationships that made me focus more on life and what really matters. And that's how the album transitions from love stories to life stories. The atmosphere can range from just me and the engineer to lots of friends around laughing and, having fun. It all depends really on the mood, how I'm feeling that day, because some days I will invite lots of people and then I feel like I want to kick everyone out because I'm like super focused. And then some days I'm alone and I need people there and I'm like, oh, I wish my friends were here to, just give me energy to continue recording. It's one of those, you want to put on your headphones and you want to sit in a dark room, maybe nighttime. I think it's good to drive to have a long drive, and it's like thinking music, I have some songs on there that are good for the morning. I have songs on there that are good for, getting ready. I think there's a song for everything on the album. I feel like when I'm writing, it's just for me to get through whatever I'm going through and to express it. I can't hold anything back because that's my therapy. Like, that's how I'm getting through it. There have been a couple of times, like, while I'm recording the song, I'm like, should I say that? And I'll fluff it up just a little. But for the most part, I keep it as honest as possible and just, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings when I'm writing, but I'm never afraid to just let people know what I'm going through and really let them know, like, my story. How many losers got a song on Sold Out? I say loser in the most loving way because, it's easier for me to write about like a failed relationship just because it's like I want to get over it and I want to get through it. So if I write a song about it, then that means I'm over it and I'm probably cool with that person, and in my mind I'm like, it's all love, I got over it, I made a song about it, And on Sold Out, I would say there's about 3 losers that are not real life losers, but they were just losers at that time when they broke my heart. My daughter influenced Sold Out a lot. She is 5 now, 5 going on 6. And you know, I knew that my responsibility as her role model I know that it's important. But the older she gets, it's like more apparent that, okay, she imitates things she sees on TV, and she repeats things, and she, picks up my habits and stuff like that. So for my previous work, she was younger and she wasn't singing along as much. And so I guess as she got older, it was just like, I need to be more responsible with my lyrics and what I'm, putting out there, my visuals and my message. And, I'm still young, I'm 26, so I still want to show her that I'm, still being true to myself, and that I'm gonna make mistakes and that I'm not perfect. So I'm not afraid to talk about things that even I might not want her to repeat, but I'm still very conscious of, knowing that she's watching and knowing that I want to be a good example for her. There's a song called Promises. It's actually featuring her. She sings the hook with me. And yeah, it's dedicated to her and my brother. And yeah. The Pressure is basically, I want to say, one of the last songs that I recorded for the album. It literally I started writing it because I was just like, oh, all this pressure, like, ooh, the pressure. And it was kind of like a joke. And then I'm like, okay, like, yeah, that's what this song can be about. I was in with the Fisticuffs, who produced majority of Sell Out, the Sell Out EP. And we work closely. They usually start from scratch, and then I'll just start singing along, and then they'll build off of the melody, and then I'll record a little bit, and then we just go back and forth building. It was hard for me to stick to one topic about the pressure, so I just sort of started off really personal, talking about a relationship and the pressures in a relationship, and then towards the end, I just sort of start talking about the pressures in life, and just everything is like a metaphor, and how they say, like, with no pressure there's no diamond. And so I say something like, every gem is not a diamond, but it, obviously pressure creates gems of all kinds. It's one of my favorites, and that is the single on Sold Out. I just released the video for that. The pressure I put on myself to just be better than I was yesterday, I'm super critical just because I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm capable. I know that I'm capable of being super lazy or super just pessimistic even sometimes. So I always am putting that pressure on myself to, get it together, do better, be better. To Love and Die, featuring Cocaine 80s, produced by Fisticuffs. This is one of the oldest songs on the album. I wrote and recorded this song maybe like a year and a half, 2 years even. Sometimes it takes me a really long time to write a song, and I really take my time with it, and I'm like overthinking each line. But this song was a song that I just had like a mental flood, and I just wrote it really quickly and recorded it quickly. And I knew that it was missing a little something. So I called James Fauntleroy, who's a part of Cocaine 80s. I love his voice, I love his writing, I love his harmonies, he can do no wrong. So I feel like he was the perfect person to feature on this song. A lot of the songs that I write are super personal, they're my stories. To Love and Die is just speaking in general about standing for love and really being a person that is about love, who will actually fight for their belief in love, you know? Like, love is really a religion, you know? And I feel like that's what this song is all about. Where I'm from, we live by the love, die by the love. There's a popular saying, I'm not sure, I forget who says it, but live by the gun, die by the gun. And so I wanted to take that approach, almost like I'm a, you know, gang member for love, though, you know, and just be really aggressive about believing in love. And sometimes I feel like I'm from another planet. So it was kind of like me saying that, like, where I come from, you know, we're just soldiers of love type of thing. Spotless Mind, produced by No ID. I remember writing this song, hearing the track and writing the song. It was like really easy to write to, and it reminded me of like Hawaii or some beautiful place. At the time I was in between like a breakup, but also like I met a new guy, and I was just like, oh, I'm so crazy. Like I thought I was in love with this guy before, but now I'm like falling in love with him. And I was just like, oh, I'm just, you know, I feel like I'm a wanderer, and I'm just like, I just move from moment to moment type of thing. I think this song is one of those songs you put on in the car and you just ride out to. And it touches on a lot of different things. It touches on that specific story, and then, you know, towards the end I go into like why I am this way and get personal a little with like how I always moved when I was younger. Like me and my family, we moved, you know, different houses, and, you know, just feeling like I never really felt like I had a specific home. I felt like everywhere was home, you know. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite because that's like putting the other songs down, and they're all like my children, so I can't pick. I can't show favoritism towards just one, but this song is a song that I can listen to and not even listen to it like it's me singing it. I can just listen to it and just appreciate the music and the lyrics. Just open their ears to my stories and get lost in the music and the words, and be able to relate and find a piece of their self in the music, whether you're a guy or a girl. I feel like I touch on a lot of different things that can resonate with, you know, anyone. And I would just hope that me being honest with what I'm going through and who I am can inspire others to be honest with who they are and not be afraid to make mistakes or not be afraid to be hurt, and just love theirself and love each other. This is Janae Aiko. Thank you so much for joining the Sold Out listening session.